Hi everyone, it's Robin and welcome back to another Thrift Store Thursday. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here in Minnesota, so I'm out on my covered porch. It's just a little bit over 70 today and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I am enjoying it out here. I thought I would just go ahead and film out here today, so I hope you don't mind the change in location. So many of you have noticed that last week I did not have a video, nor have I been posting very often here on my channel, and that is because the last three and a half weeks or so, my family and I have been going through some very big changes. Some changes are very exciting and other changes have been completely heartbreaking. And I will get into all of that. I'll have a little story time here in just a little bit, tell you everything that's been going on. But first, I wanted to share with you the one thing that I found at the thrift store this week when I went thrifting. So I happened to stop in at the thrift store the other day real quickly because I was dropping off a few things and I'm like, oh, I've got to go look and see what's there. So I did, and I found something that I absolutely fell in love with. It is another vintage jewelry box, you guys. And this one is in white. Look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? It's got this really pretty silver detailing on the top, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I would say that this is the medium-sized jewelry box. It's not the double wide one, nor is it like the small little ones. So I think this is like the perfect little size. It was only $3.99, and it's in really good condition. It does have a few scuffs on the back side, but the front and the sides are in pretty good condition. There's no rips or tears. So I'm pretty excited about that. I do need to get it cleaned up a little bit on the inside. It's got black velvet, and as you can see, it's a little dusty. But it doesn't have that musty smell, which I think is awesome. So I think a little bit of vacuuming and maybe a little toothbrush in the corners will get all that little dust out of there, and I can get it all cleaned up. And I'm thinking I'm going to use this because it's got the little dividers in there. I'm going to use this to hold my vintage rhinestone earring collection. I think that'll be perfect for this. So I'm super excited to have found this little guy for only $3.99. So that is what I picked up this week at the thrift store. I am so thrilled with it. This actually, I think, makes 4 jewelry boxes that I have. My mom gave me one. It's like on a tan color. I found a blue one, I found a red one, and now I found a white one. How very patriotic of me. So I'm pretty excited about that. Alright, so that is what I found this week at the thrift store. And for next week's video, I wanted to mention that I'm planning to do a giveaway. So I hope you'll come back for next week's video. Alright, so now it is time to get into story time. So this all started about the week of Father's Day, like Monday or Tuesday, right after Father's Day. For some reason or another, I told my husband that I was ready to move. And he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I think it's time for us to move. And he's like, yes, because he has been wanting me to move to another house for years. We have been in this house for 18 years. We moved in when Joe, our middle child, was 6 months old. So we have been here a really long time. I absolutely love this house. I love the view. I love my backyard. And I don't know why, but I was just all of a sudden ready for a change. So I let him know, and he hit the ground running. Because like I said, he has been wanting to move for a really long time. And I have been resisting for a really long time. So we started looking at houses. We found one that we liked. We put in an offer. It wasn't declined, but they were like hemming and hawing on some things. And we went back and forth with them for a couple days, and then finally we just pulled our offer. We're like, we do not need to jump through hoops in order to get this house. You know what I mean? So we kind of walked away from that house. And that was all in that first week of Father's Day. The next week, we did a lot of looking around. We ended up looking at probably over 20 houses in like a 4-day period. We found one that we liked, and we put in an offer, and it was accepted like Wednesday or Thursday of that week. And we were so excited. We're not moving very far away. It's really only about a half hour from where we are currently, and it is still 15 minutes away from my sister and my mom. We're just kind of on the other side, going southwards. So we were super excited that the offer was accepted, and this was all right before, like the Wednesday or Thursday, right before 4th of July. So we were super excited, and I went into full-blown pack up my house mode, because at that point I have a month to get out. We close on August 10th. So we have about a month to pack up my whole house of 18 years. And I was panicking. So I started packing and packing. And of course we took us some time off for the 4th of July. And, you know, we had some good time with family and friends. And then it was right back into packing again. And I have been packing like a demon ever since. Alright, so that brings us up to Tuesday, right after 4th of July, which is this last Tuesday. I woke up, had a beautiful morning outside with the dogs, brought him in, and I noticed that Finn was walking really tender with like his tail down, his ears back. And I'm like, oh, I must have hurt his back, because he'll either hurt his back or his hips, sometimes running out along the fence line, or he'll jump off of something and he'll tweak it. It happens like once or twice a year. And I just give him some little puppy ibuprofen that I got from the vet, and it normally takes a couple of days and everything's cool. So I gave him some medicine, and I just kind of watched him that day, and he just kind of laid around. He'll get up every now and then, but he was really tender. And like walking around, you could tell that he was, you know, not right. So we watched him that night, and the next morning, which was Wednesday, well, about by midday, I'm like, something's wrong. This is not the normal thing. So I called the vet. And they didn't have any appointments open that day, so they said, call again tomorrow morning. We'll try to work you in. I'm like, all right. So I called Thursday morning, and we got an appointment in the afternoon. So we took him in, and by this time, he was really not doing well. He was like just laying there. He didn't really, if we would stand, he was really shaky and wobbly, and we're like, oh my goodness, what is going on? So my daughter and I took him to the vet. They did some blood work and realized that his red blood cell count was super low. It's supposed to be at 40. It was only at 15. So the way we chose to treat it was to give him steroids. So they kept him that day for a couple hours, gave him a steroid shot, and put him on IV fluids. And then we went and picked him up about 6 o'clock at night, brought him home, and then gave him meds overnight. And then the next morning, which was Friday, we brought him back to the vet. He stayed all day at the vet on Friday so they could give him fluids, give him the medicine. And then we picked him up in the evening on Friday. So then we brought him back in on Saturday morning to do another round. You know, they were open half day, so we brought him in right away in the morning at 8 o'clock to be there for the day for fluids, recheck his blood count to see if the steroids were working. The red blood, the test came back that he was down to a 5, you guys. So at this point, we are like, okay, normally it takes 3 to 5 days for the steroids to really start working. So they were encouraged in the fact that they found some red blood cells that were newer. Apparently they're larger in size than older red blood cells, but they weren't producing enough yet to compensate for the amount that he was losing. So that put us at Saturday afternoon. The vet is closed for the afternoon, and they're closed on Sunday. So we brought Finn home, and we're like, what are we going to do? He was like super sick. And we're praying, hoping and praying that the steroids would start kicking in and working and help him produce more red blood cells, right? So that he would start feeling better. At this point, we were encouraged that the vet thought that he was not in pain. He was just very, very weak, and which he was. He couldn't hardly stand on his own anymore, and he hadn't eaten anything since like Thursday. So we brought him home, the poor little guy. We brought him home, and we decided on Sunday morning that we were going to take him to the pet hospital because our vets were closed. We wanted to get a second opinion and to see if we were doing all that we could possibly do for him. So they checked his blood, gave him a quick little exam, and his blood cell count was down to 1, you guys. So at that point, we had to make the heartbreaking decision to say our final goodbyes to him, which we did. It was nice that I was able to be there for him until the very end, but oh my gosh, you guys, very hard to do. I can't believe I was able to do it. It was just absolutely heartbreaking, and many of you probably already know this if you follow me on Instagram. I did post it there as a form of self-healing, But thank you guys for all of your kind words, encouragement for myself and for the family, and for poor Finny baby. So, so that was all in the last 6 days, you guys. So it has been an absolute whirlwind roller coaster of emotions and stress the last 6 days. It went by so fast, and I was so stressful, and it was just like a roller coaster of emotions for those 6 days of not knowing if we were doing what we should be doing, or should we be doing more. All these questions swirling around in your mind, and at the same time, you're hoping and praying that he's not in pain and that you're doing the right thing. So, oh, guys, it was terrible. And poor little Rayma. She and Finn always go everywhere together. They never leave the house without the other one. So the first time that we left with Finn, I guess she really freaked out. It did kind of help, I think, that we did take Finn to the vet for those couple days, and then it would bring him home at night. I think that kind of helped the transition with getting used to Finn not even being around. The first day, Sunday, she was like she went down onto my daughter's bed downstairs and really didn't go anywhere. Like she knew something was up, and it was just like, what the heck's going on? She was like that on Monday as well. But each day you can see her personality coming back. So that is encouraging to see. So that, you guys, is the story about why I haven't been posting very much lately. And as you can imagine, it has just been absolutely crazy around here with the excitement of the new house and getting ready and packing, and then the heartbreak of going through this with Finn and having to say goodbye to him. And it was just, oh my gosh, I don't know how we got through it, to tell you the truth, but we did. And let's just be thankful for the strength that the Lord gives us. That is for sure. So I wanted to share that with you guys, just to let you guys know, because most likely some of you will be wondering, where is Finn? Why isn't he in the videos anymore? I'm actually quite amazed that I could get to that story without crying. I think that's the first time I've been able to say that without crying. So I guess that is a good thing. So now I have a little bit of footage I'd like to share with you of me in the garden with the babies that I filmed on July 4th. It shows some of the flowers that are beginning to bloom in the backyard, and it shows the babies together, which is really super duper cool. So you guys get to see Finny baby one more time. And then so yeah, I normally would share this on one of my gardening videos that I've been doing this summer, but I don't think I'm going to be doing it anymore because it's no longer a priority. Getting ready to pack is a priority for me. So I will be probably doing some sort of vlog each week leading up to our move. Most likely that's kind of my plan. So I'll be throwing in some of the flowers that are blooming and that sort of thing for those of you who are invested in the garden video. So go ahead and take a quick look at this clip, and I will check back with you. Good morning, everyone. So I'm heading out to the garden this morning for the second time already. I got an early start today. It is like 7:45, 8 o'clock already, and I've already got 2 weed buckets filled up today. I'm feeling really energized, and the babies are loving it. It is really nice out this morning. It is overcast, it's not hot, it's pretty humid, but that's okay. But it's nice that I'm not standing in the direct sun, you know what I mean? But anyways, so this morning is an absolute beautiful morning, and I woke up early and I'm wanting to get into the garden today. So that is what I am going to do, even though my inside of my house is pretty crazy right now. So I'm trying to remember, I think it's been a couple weeks since we have been together out here in the garden. Let me sit down here. Whoa, hi Rena. So the first week we went camping. Last week, some crazy decisions were made here at the house, and so it was just really super duper busy. And so anyways, I am ready for some relaxation and some downtime here in my garden. And as you can imagine, the weeds have not been idle. Well, I have been. So I have been doing some weeding today, and I'm going to continue to do some weeding. I'll probably be mostly weeding today. I do have one hydrangea that I need to get planted, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get to that today. But we shall see. We shall see how the day goes, how everything shakes up. I'm hoping if it gets nice out today to go over and do some floating in my sister's pool. We were going to do that yesterday afternoon, but we had a thunderstorm roll through, so we couldn't do that. But yesterday morning was hot, humid, and a great beach time, but the afternoon ended up not being so quite the same. So I'm going to stop chatting now. I'm going to get into the garden and get some more weeds picked and do a few little chores here around the backyard. I'm excited to share with you some of the changes that have been happening in the garden the last couple of weeks. One of which is this back here. Can you see that beautiful hydrangea? It's in full bloom. I believe that's my Annabelle hydrangea. I'll show you a close-up without all this stuff in the way. And we also have a few other plants that are starting to bloom and others that are, you know, almost there. So it's an exciting time. My vegetables are looking great too. So I'll be sharing all of that with you guys this week. But right now, I'm going to grab my weeding bucket and get to work. Got a lot of rain the last couple of days. So everything's like wet. Oh, here, we'll go over here first. This area, I haven't even touched this area yet this year. I feel so bad. But the catnip is in full bloom. Almost at the end of it, actually. So pretty. I just love this plant. And it smells so good, too. So that's almost done. I'll probably cut that back and I'll probably get another bloom from it if I get around to it quick enough. Here's the bucket of zinnias that I planted. They're looking good. I'm getting these little plants, or these little bugs. See these little suckers? They like to eat these zinnias. See what they're doing? I'm not sure if these guys are going to survive or not. They really like the zinnias. And then I have this one over here as well. This one's looking pretty good too. And then back in here I've got some coreopsis starting to bloom, which is awesome. And then look at this. I have a daisy that just decided to plant itself here. So I got some cute little daisies growing. Alright, so here's the little vegetable area. Look at how well the cucumbers are going. They're just going to town, man. They are loving this heat that we've been having. So I need to kind of train those. I did that a little bit yesterday. put the long shoots outside the what do you call it? This thing. What do you call this? Tomato cage? This one's going up like I want it to, which is awesome. Maybe help it out a little bit here. There you go. Tomato plant. It's looking good as well. It's got some blooms on it. There's even some tomatoes down in there. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. There's some tomatoes. So yeah, that's looking pretty good too. The petunias are looking nice. They haven't woke up for the day yet because there's no bright sun, but those are pretty. And then, oh, look at those. These are my moonbeam coreopsis, and this is one of my favorite plants. I just love these. Look at these gorgeous yellow flowers on them. Oh no, it's starting to rain. And I don't have to deadhead them at all. They bloom all summer long until it gets frosted out. And they're pretty hardy. It takes a pretty good frost to take these plants out. But aren't they gorgeous? Just love it. This one over here is in bloom as well as this one. This is my biggest patch of it right here. And it is in gorgeousness. Look at that. Loving it. Here is all of the phlox that I have, and they are starting to get, doesn't look like a phlox to me. Maybe it is. This looks like a Rebecca, or what do you call it? One of these over there. Anyways, so here's the phlox area. They are starting to get seed heads. You can see that here. Isn't that gorgeous? And then over here, it's not a black-eyed Susan. What is this called? I can't remember. So we got that coming in. And there's a little phlox back in there. Well, Mother Nature decided I'm not going to be weeding this morning. It is now actively raining on me. Guess I'll take a break. My babies are getting all wet. So I hope you enjoyed that clip of the babies in the backyard and getting to see Finny one last time. I think it was so cute watching him run around out there in the garden. Alright, so I just want to thank you guys for stopping by today. I know this has been probably a long sort of video and very strange, not your normal typical Thrift Store Thursday video, but I appreciate it if you're still here watching that. I just wanted to keep you guys informed of what's happening in our lives, because a lot of you like to be, you know, in the know on such things, and I love it when I'm able to share that and I love it when I'm able to share what's been going on in our lives. I feel like you guys are my friends, and I wanted to be able to share that with you. So if you're still here, still watching, thank you very much. And make sure you guys stop by next week for Thrift Store Thursday when I have a giveaway. Alright guys, I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Hug your babies, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.